And naturally, my nose immediately thinks that I need to blow it because it is itchy. There. I blame pollen. I blame pollen. Alright, hello, and welcome from nowhere. I am Nada, and we are doing art today because we do art all the time. So this is what I've been working on. I started it yesterday. This is the rough sketch. In case you can't tell, it is a child sitting on a horse. Indeed. I did notice something while looking at my reference picture, but my child is very short. And hi Tibbs, how are you? I don't want to use your real name, but hi sis. I just realized something. My child here is a hobbit. She's very short. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to this layer, right? That's that layer. Okay. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to start the time lapse because I always forget my damn time lapse. Okay, so this is 36. This is right. There we go. Okay, so there's that. Okay, the time lapse has started, but we're gonna go up here, and we're actually gonna go ahead and hit Control T, and we're actually gonna make her a little taller because proportionately, her head is supposed to be like up here. So I'm having some frustrations with this child, and it's not even her fault, man. So we're gonna work on a little bit there. Make the child a little bit bigger. And then I do think she does need to be a little bit taller. But see, now the leg is all off. Grab baskets. Alright. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. We'll make that go away. Yes, small human children are very hard to draw. Alright, so let's see. You know... Alright, hang on a second. I'm gonna do something real quick because I need a thing here. I need a logical thing. So we're gonna go over here and we're gonna go over here. Alright. Hang on, I gotta make that smaller, and I'm gonna make that smaller, and then I'm gonna make that smaller, and then we're gonna go over here. I said open. Open. This is not rocket science. Open. Why are you not opening? The excessive amount of tediousness that is happening at this exact moment is driving me insane. Okay. Will you please open? Open says me. Open says me. Open. Why do you know open? Why? Why do you know open? Okay, and then we're gonna go over here, and then we're gonna go over here. We're going to download because, alright, we're gonna do the thing, and we're gonna go over here, and I'm actually going to Open. Downloads. No, not that folder. Where? Where did you download? You should have downloaded. Why did you not? You are exceeding my patience here. Okay. Now we're gonna go back over here. We're gonna go to that one. Aha! Okay. Okay, so this is my reference photo. And we are going to select all. And then we are going to copy layer. We're gonna go over here. And then we're gonna add another layer right there. And we're going to paste. Okay. Control T. Make it bigger. Make it bigger. Kind of line it up a little bit. But you see my problem here? Do you see my problem here? So even okay, we're gonna line it up with the legs here. Some. But do you see my problem? See, my proportions are just all wrong. All wrong. Stand by for future. Okay. In the meantime, I am doing sizing here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually expand that some. She's so tiny. Yes, she is very tiny. Okay. I do like the positioning of that in the space, so we're actually going to set that. We are going to make it opaque, so then I can zoom forward, and then I'm going to take Control T. No. Control T. See, I'm not overly off, not necessarily, but I am going to do some mild editing here with the mesh transform to be able to pull some of that around. I am not looking for perfection. I am just trying to make this face a little bit more cohesive because the jawline is right and the muzzle is right. Okay, so there's that, and then this kind of lines up a little bit. We're actually going to bring that up. Bring that up. And see, even a lot of the reins are actually quite aligned. And even the chest muscles are actually in relative alignment. So I am actually quite happy with how well I managed to get that lined up once I rearranged the face. But do you see how she is like blatantly in the wrong spot? Okay, so we've done that one. And then we're gonna go over here. But she needs to be Control T. She needs to be like up here. Yeah, she needs to be up here. We're gonna broaden her out a little bit just so that the body lines up. Yes, I know the face is blatantly wrong. Don't worry about it. Don't panic. But the body is right, so we're gonna stop there. And then we're gonna do mesh transform. Oh, that eye is blatantly off. I'll fix that later. Okay, edit and the mesh transform. So we're going to narrow that down, narrow that down, narrow that down, narrow that down. But see how the face is up. Okay, so we're going to. This is just to kind of get some of this aligned ever so slightly. Because like the arms are like supposed to be up here. And the hands are like over here. I'll redraw that arm. But see the leg? Do you see why I was having so much trouble with this leg? So much because she's supposed to be like over here. Wow, what happened? Because like this is supposed to be like way down here. Like see, that's supposed to be like way over here. Way over here. And I will kind of reference the face again. I am just trying to get everything lined up. Yes, that is the mesh tool. So that is under select and it is the mesh transform. And what it does is, see now like I have a realigned now that I've moved everything. So like I can take this over there. See now the reins more appropriately aligned. Her hands are more appropriately aligned. The leg is freaking appropriately aligned. And even the, yeah, see, that's closer to what she's supposed to look like. Sort of. I really try to avoid doing references like this because to me that is basically tracing or carbon copying. I try to draw it by myself as much as physically possible. But because of the sheer amount of detail in this rein work and the body positioning, which I could not freaking get right, I had to do this. So I ain't happy about it, but whatever. Okay, so that better references this. Now, as you can also see, my legs are blatantly off here. So this one is pretty darn close. So I'm actually going to select the back of the horse, Control T, and then I'm actually going to spread it out some, move it just a little, lengthen. I'm trying to get these joints lined up. If I can get the joints lined up, I'll be happier. And yes, I know that leg is all janky now, but whatever. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to get the proportions somewhat right. So as you can see, like up here, it's not quite meshing. Just not quite. So like it needs to be over here. Just a little bit. I'm not looking for perfect. I'm just trying to get these lines to behave. Some. And then like this leg I'll need to redraw. Yeah, I'm gonna have to redraw that one, which is fine. That's okay. I am not upset. Control T. But see how like these legs are super out of alignment here. See, I already knew that my legs were off. I already knew my legs were off. I didn't realize they were that off. But by making them longer, and then we're going to go back in here. And then we're going to select mesh transform. And then we're going to bring that down some, just to get these knee joints right. And it may look dorky, but just hear me out here. Okay, now that I've done all of that realigning work, I'm going to go in here with the actual pin on this layer, zoom it in, just because I have it more relatively positioned. So that's right there, general drawing. Okay, because again, it's in dirt, so we're gonna just kind of make that one a little bit more. I knew I was gonna have to redo this leg, most definitely. Because that tail was also throwing me off. And of course there's an advertisement in the middle of my music. Why do I need an advertisement in the middle of my music? And now we wait for the advertisement to cease. Nobody needs a Chevy. Nobody needs Vistaprint. Why do I have to sit through 2 15-second commercials about these things? Do 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 do. Wah! Okay. I'm actually going to leave that kind of like it is because I think I've got it pretty layered. There's the hip. I am going to fix that just a little bit so it's more properly aligned. Okay, now I do need to fix the rain. Okay, there's that one. Saddles over here. And then just because this is going to bug me if I don't fix her freaking face. I was pretty close. That looks terrible. I am zooming in very closely. I know it's not perfect, but we're working with what we got here. And I don't like those. I don't like those at all. Make them smaller. Bugging me. Let's get the curve of the face right. Alright, hang on. I need my reference photo. Want to play that way? We're going to play that way. So her hair is over here. Her ear is actually about there, and then there's the braid. So then there's ruffles on her shirt. Not quite. Hang on. I can do this. Okay. Okay, nobody panic. Remember, this is very zoomed in. Because when you zoom it out, it's better. But we'll get there. I also need to fix the eye of the horse. Because the eye of the horse is in the wrong spot. In fact, most of the bridle is actually in the wrong spot. Close. I had it close. So the eye is actually over here. I know, it looks like a very angry horse. candid about the red spot. So that's good. And then it goes around the base. There's the chin. There's the rain. Okay. You know what? That's good enough for now. Ta-da! It's better than it was. Lots of squiggly lines. Alright. Now. And now we paint. Let us start with the white. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to start by changing the main. Turn all these off. I'm going to turn all these off real quick. And there's a reason behind this. We're going to base layer. We're going to drop it over into a warmer tone. And we are going to actually. There's a method behind my business. Okay. We're going to leave her off right now. Is there anything on that layer? Nope. We're going to delete that layer. Is there anything on that layer? Nope. Oh, that was why I was going to do the thing. We're going to merge that one down. Take that layer. Why do you not see that layer? Why do you not see my color layer? Fine, screw you. Why? Why are you not painting? I want a new layer. Normal layer. And I want you to paint. Thank you. Okay, well, not necessarily. We're going to paint the whole thing. We're going to select that. We're going to turn these back on. Okay, now, maybe we can start painting. Good grief. Swap it over to the face. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. I'm in the layers. I'm also in the wrong spot. Again, he's a paint horse, so he's gonna have his neck is all white. No, it needs more pink. And then he actually has a big spot on his face. right now, let's just get into the color. Drop that into a darker tone. I'm not worried about covering over these just yet. These are for my lining. Now that the base color is on here, I can get into some more of the detail. And then this is all a bit more of the cool tone, actually. Maybe I should have gone with a... Let's... Yeah, that works a little bit better. There's lots of blue in this. Because again, over here is in shadow. Flow with the neck muscles. This is in a more darker shadow. Okay, there's a little spot there. Nope. I do want some blue. Highlight there. And then there's a big blobby thing there. Actually, oh no, too big. Still too big. swap it around. Goes up and then like this and then do 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 do. Don't be afraid to get into the builder colors just because you're trying to be subtle. They do blend eventually. And then we're actually going to swap over to that just to get that hint of shadow. And a hint of shadow there. Because again, eventually this line art disappear. And when I get to that point, it will be amazing. There is a shadow right on the edge of the face. In fact, I kind of want to take that away. And then, of course, time for an advertising. Oh, let's see. What's the advertisement today? Something that I don't care about. And thus we must wait. And now it's equally something I don't care about. And we're going to skip and turn the music back on. And then we're going to go back over to my art. And then we're going to go right here. Okay. Actually, I think this needs to swing more to the purple. And there's even just a hint of da 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 da. Sharpen that edge. Okay. Oh my, it's too wide. Well, heavens. Woo! Overshot. Hello, big dog. There's a big dog in my room. Yes, I am still working on a lower opacity over here. And that's fine. And then if I really feel inclined, what I can do is I can go in here and kind of blend. Well, don't overdo it, dang it. I need to trim his nails, apparently he's stripping. Okay, now. Hey! There you go. Good grief. You had me worried. Yes, he just keeps tripping. There, I moved the rug. Yes, his back legs are giving him grief. Sorry. Big dog has arthritis. He's old. Okay, so there is. Whoops, a little too powerful here. Yeah. Can you move, please? Come on, man. Okay. Sometimes I wish I had more color palettes here, but that's okay. We're actually gonna go back to the crayon brush because I want to get more of that square footage. Hmm? Let's drop this into the gray a little bit. Drop the opacity some. blend, 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 blend. Because then you go over it and it blends. And then we're gonna go over here. Because again, this is in shadow. The sun is setting. The sun is over there. So this is all in shadow. Shadows. Do not fear your shadows. That's a little dark, so let's go with that one. How dark do we want to go? Actually, no. What I need is right about there. Take it to the warm tone. Is it kind of like that? Yeah, a little bit, little bit, little bit. I know it's a very gross color, but bear with me here. Don't be afraid of your shadow colors. They are there for a reason, and you gotta put them in. Transition over here. I do kind of want just a light cream color. There is just a little bit of a highlight there. I would really like that to move just a little bit. There we go. Okay. And we're gonna blur some of this just a bit. Just take some of that in there. Sort of. Nope, wrong color. And there's some additional shadow there along the main. And then we're gonna get into more of that blue. Lots of blue shadow. Lots of blue. Lots of blue. Which is fine. Go in with the blur. It doesn't have to be perfect after all. Because remember, we're going to take that away. Eventually. Ugh. Is it perfect right now? Absolutely not. So let's do another layer. I'm going to go in for some of the bridal tack, I think. Actually, it only needs to extend to the length of the face because then it blends into the darker color. Okay, transition. We're going to go into the over here. Actually, what we're going to do is go in here with this. We're going to drop it into a darker tone because along that line right there, where that holster is a darker shadow line. Go in here. There, something like that. Actually, no, I need the gray line. that. And then we go in like that. Grab that darker shadow line. Take that holster out. I still need to fix that, but whatever. Right now we're working on the tack. Bolo there, and it needs to be that light color. This one pretty much kind of blends into the shadows. I'm going to go in with that darker tone. I'm going to go back to this layer here. This needs some more definition. Swap up to the silver. That is not what I picked. Actually, we're gonna do this as a separate layer in and of itself. Okay. Now we're gonna tuck it back behind these layers for right now. Just for right now. Start with prop it up. I know, the very angry looking horse. But don't worry about it, we're working on it. Okay. Back down into the dark. Closer to that, and then we're actually going to go in with a very faint, very tiny brush. Oh, no wonder, that's too far. I have it too far backwards. It needs to be up here. Okay, hang on. I can actually fix that. Too fat. Okay, now I'm gonna go into the line. Bring it forward. Bring it forward. Bring it forward. Much better, much better. And then this is more of a highlight on the top of the eye and around there. And then the brown actually needs to go out, 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 out. Actually, when you zoom out, he doesn't look nearly as angry now. Does not look nearly as angry. Now, to be fair, he's like way zoomed in right now. So when he's back to his like normal distance, he doesn't look nearly as crazy. I am going to grab the blur pen just to kind of get in here some, kind of get around that eye a little bit. Well, actually, I don't want that. Okay. Now over here there is a rain. As you can see, there is a rain. So we will be going in with our oil pen here. And it kind of goes from up here. I need a fatter brush than that. Okay, so these are the reins / tuck. Oh, overshot. Okay, now the reason I want that there is because there is a designated shadow. Oops, overshot. Okay. No, but okay. Ow! Caught my thing. All right. Okay, so just for reference here. There's that one. And there's that one. So you see where we're going with this? Ah! Alright, and I'm also going to put, just because we have a few more minutes before I'm going to call it, we're actually going to grab that color and we're going to go in here and add, well no, we're not going to, take it back. We're going to add it there. We're going to put it on top of the reins. We're going to call this forehead mane because I need it to be on top. Blend. Do not be afraid of the dark shadow. get some paint splotches over here on this chest. Because then, down below the line is where he starts to get more paint. So I can get the chest line here. Alright, well, there's a good stopping point. We've been at this for an hour and 20 minutes. So I think I'm going to stop there for now. Just for now, we'll come back to it tomorrow. But in the meantime, there is part 2, the start of the coloring of the horse. Hope you enjoyed. I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.